welcome to the Northern Counties East League podcast. I'm Richard Watts. I'm now joined by League General Manager Matt Jones.
Hello everybody, welcome to the podcast. We're going to start this week by looking at the FA Cup, and we had 7 teams taking part in the first qualifying round of the FA Cup over the weekend. Congratulations go to Botisford Town and Hallam, who made it safely through to the second qualifying round. We'll come back to those in a minute. I'll also say a big well done to Campion, who earned a really creditable 1-1 draw against Blythe Spartans. Blythe Spartans currently a Step 3 side. Last year they were playing in National League North against the likes of Scunthorpe, so quite a big step up in class. The game was live on BBC TV, which was fantastic. Campion had a record crowd to watch of 572. And it's amazing for the league that 2 years running now we've had a game selected to be broadcast live on the BBC, following on from Tadcaster Albion versus Chester last year. I haven't got the viewing figures for Saturday's game yet, but we know that previous year there were over 200,000 people watching the Tadcaster game live on the red button. Absolutely brilliant for teams at our level to get live on TV. Really, really good to see. The teams that made it through: Hallam made the long trip up to west end of Newcastle. Probably 10-15 minutes from Newcastle city centre, quite a long journey on the bus. Playing Newcastle Blue Star, team from the Northern League. Hallam found themselves 2-0 down at half-time. Came back to win 3-2. Never easy to go up to Newcastle and play the North East teams up there. Absolutely great result for Hallam. Well done to them. It's the first time Hallam have made the second qualifying round of the FA Cup for 18 seasons. So fantastic achievement. Botisford Town, they recorded a 1-0 win at home against Loughborough Students, and everybody who's ever played against one of the student teams knows they're generally very useful sides. They recruit for all the university students coming from all over the country, all piled together and play football. Usually really, really good side, very difficult to beat. Congratulations to everybody at Botisford. That's the first time they've ever reached the second qualifying round of the FA Cup in the club's history. Absolutely brilliant achievement. Because of the FA Cup, there were only 4 games that took place in the Premier Division. Penistone Church strengthened their position at the top, winning 4-2 at Frickley Athletic. And although Penistone currently 3 points clear at the top, Goole will still be fancying their chances. They didn't play because of the FA Cup ties, and they've now got the 3 points behind Penistone at the top of the table with 3 games in hand. They were speaking Monday morning before Goole were playing tonight at Albion Stores. So by the time the podcast comes out, Goole may be top of the league, we'll see. 9 games took place in Division 1, and special mention here for Maltby Main, playing their first home game of the season, some 5 weeks into the season. They've been doing a lot of improvement works down at Muglet Lane. The infamous slope has gone. Everybody who's ever been to Maltby knows what a sloping pitch it was from side to side. They've levelled that off. They've done a lot of improvements, the new hospitality, a new eating area, moved the dugouts, lots and lots of work been going on. Unfortunately, it's took a bit longer than planned, so they've requested the first few games of the season to be away. They've actually played 4 league games and a reverse league cup tie away from home before finally playing at home at the 6th of 10th this weekend. And they celebrated that in front of a fantastic crowd of 255 by beating South Leeds 4-1. So I'm sure they'll be relieved to be getting some home games under the belt finally. The Northern Counties East League are delighted to announce their new official charity partner, which is Resuscitation Council UK. This is my 8th season involved with the league, and it's the first time I can remember us having a charity partner. Hopefully it'll prove to be beneficial for both sides. The league's teamed up with RC UK to help spread important, potentially life-saving information across communities right the way across the 6 different county FA areas that we cover. This is vital, as out-of-hospital cardiac arrests currently affect over 100,000 people per year in the UK, and the survival rate is less than 1 in 10. A person's chances of survival fall by 10% for every minute that they don't receive CPR or defibrillation. And research by the charity shows that areas around our region, where our 42 teams are based, there are several cardiac arrest hotspots. What will the partnership mean for our clubs and communities? The charity is going to offer CPR training, both through their website and also at in-person events. And the good thing about these events is that they're not just looking at the football team, although any of our players, volunteers, managers, supporters, anybody that wants to do it can do it. They're also going to be looking at basing these events around the wider community, so involving local MPs, the schools, the local press. Anybody in the local community that wants to come and learn how to do CPR could potentially save somebody's life. And the idea behind this is once we've done an event, that people go and spread the word and teach other people how to do it. So hopefully it'll prove with these cardiac arrest hotspot areas, particular, to have an impact. And hopefully, if it saves one life, it's a fantastic initiative. What will it mean? People at our grounds, there'll be posters around with a QR code on. If somebody collapses, somebody's in need of first aid, scan the QR code straight away on your phone. You will get information on how to do CPR. So even if you've not had the training, straight away you get a 2-minute instruction, step by step, of what to do. So potentially, even though if you've never had any medical training or anything like that, you could still help to save somebody's life. There'll be adverts in the match programs, and they're also putting a love heart or a heart-shaped symbol on everybody's club shirts. Hopefully in the middle of the shirt, but potentially could either go on the sleeve or on the back. Again, this will feature a unique QR code just for our league. Somebody needs first aid attention, scan the player's QR code on his shirt, and again, you'll get the life-saving instructions. Just to finish off, really, we're excited by the partnership, and we hope that our clubs and wider communities will all benefit with it.
I'm joined by Frickley fans Ella and Josh, who are becoming regulars on the podcast. So Frickley, this season, how's it been this season so far for Frickley?
They've been winning some, and then they've played good in some games as well.
What's been the best game so far?
Tadcaster away.
What was the score in that one?
2-1 to Frickley, and they played very well.
That's a good result, that, isn't it? Any new players this season? Who are your favourite players this season so far?
Louis Waits.
What position does he play?
Don't know.
But he does well. That's good. What about you, Josh?
Joel Spence.
What position does he play?
Midfield.
Midfield. Very good. And Ella, I hear you're doing some volunteering at home matches. What are you doing?
So I sell tickets and programs.
Very good. So is it record ticket sales and record programme sales?
Yeah.
Excellent. And you're playing for Frickley under-10s, is that right?
Yeah.
How's that going?
Good.
Well, how many nights a week do you train for that?
1.
And what position do you play?
Striker.
Are you going to get loads of goals this season? Have you had any matches yet?
Yeah.
Any goals so far?
2.
Very good. That's a good start. Who do you play this weekend?
Airedale.
Will you beat them?
Think.
That's good. That's good. So what do you think Frickley will do this season? Where do you think they'll be in the league?
I think they'll place mid-table.
What about in the cups? You think you could win the League Cup?
Possibly, yeah.
What about you, Josh? What do you think?
Playoffs.
Well, that's good. Yeah. What about the cup? Do you think you can win the cup?
Yeah.
And what about tonight? What score is it going to be tonight?
1-0 Frickley.
What? They won here last year, didn't they?
Yeah.
What about you, Josh? What do you think?
2-1 Frickley.
I hope you're wrong, but you'll probably be right. So thank you, and we'll hopefully catch up with you later in the season. News coming of major ground developments at Goole, and I'm joined by Bob to tell us all about it.
Well, Richard, the club have been waiting for some time now about the update on the VPG redevelopment. And today on the Goole Facebook page, in All About Goole, the Goole Town Council, in conjunction with the Goole Town Deal Board, announced the day that the grant has now come through of more than £2.2 million from the football foundations for the pitch. So this brings the total total cost of refurbishment to about 7.2 million. So this 2.2 represents about 31% of the total money for the project. But even now, though, to me, there's more questions than answers on all this. Because obviously they're going to knock the main stand down in the coming weeks. We understand that could happen in November, but that's still to be ratified. But what they're going to do before they start knocking the stand down, as I understand, is they're going to put porta cabins in for the dressing rooms, something for hospitality in the bar. But we've still got to see what all that's going to be look like. And I presume the crowd they'll all have to be congregate at the Dunhill Road side of the ground opposite the main stand, because that's the work that they're going to start on first. That's what I'm led to believe.
How long is it likely to take?
Now that's a good question. Well, there's talk about. Well, I've seen a post tonight. It was by the mayor, Goole, saying that they're hoping, all being well, to lay the pitch just before September, and he quoted as saying just before the season starts. Well, our season starts end of July, and if you remember when they laid the Bottisford pitch, it took 5-6 weeks. So that's what would we do there? That's something we've got to look into. But
Is
also,
it going to be an artificial surface?
yeah, it's going to be a 4G. When I spoke to this is going back 18 months now. When I spoke, there was a what you could get consultation at the junction, the local council offices about 18 months ago. I spoke to somebody from the FA or the architects now, and they said it'd be a really top class Champions League pitch. Well, we'll see. Standard. That would be lovely if it was.
Yeah.
But very lovely. But yeah, so we'll have to see on that. But but as you know, sorry.
I was going to say, is the athletics track going, or is that going to be?
No, I was coming to that, Richard.
Right.
The athletics track. You see, I suppose you can't please everybody, but I do have some sympathy for athletics, because there's been an 400-meter run track round the VPG for years. There's this one now, but there was a black cinder track going back many years ago.
Yeah.
So they're going to lose that, and I think it's going to be a 300-meter track near the railway side at the bottom end of the ground. But whoever's who's put this all together, the planners and all this, I suppose this is what they've decided, you know. But obviously the athletics people are upset at this, which I can understand, because it's not just people in Goole that come here. There's people from around the district, you know, come to run on the track. So they're not happy, which I can understand. But I suppose.
It's going to have rugby league, isn't it, on it?
Yes, rugby league. Now, in their announcements, they said that the rugby league semi-professional club. Well, they're not semi-professional at the moment; they're an amateur club. But there is talk about in the next season or two of turning semi-professional and playing in League One, which I suppose if they did, I mean, that would be good for Goole, but it would be a lot of expense, because that's not cheap for some of the teams that's been playing League One. Some bit of travelling, but we'll see what happens on that one. But just going back to Goole, we need the club itself, and I know our chairman Alan's been trying to get is some guarantees, because at non-league clubs, football, non-league clubs, the revenue is so important, especially on match day.
Yeah.
For non-league clubs, you need the people coming through the gate, you need your sponsorship, you need your bar revenue on the day, and you need your catering on the day. Now, at the moment, we have we get the bar revenue because we have our own clubhouse, as you know, and the catering. But there's no guarantee. We've been asking the people on the Goole Town Council and board what's going to happen with the bar and the catering for the revenue, because that's vital to it. income streams to our club, you know. And the answer I got back on the Facebook page today, that's still to be worked out. And but we do realise what you've got the income is at the moment. So that's not a really guarantee to me. So there's more questions than answers on this, and I think the supporters going forward will want some guarantees that the club will get this. You know, so we'll have to see. But I understand it's going to be run for what they call a non-for-profit organisation, but as yet we don't know who that is going to be. So we've just got to see. You know,
Is the capacity increasing as a
now,
result of it?
yeah. What they say they say that the improvements. This is what the consultants say. They say they'll increase the number of visits to the VPG from 13,000 a year to 63,000. That's a £376% increase. Now, looking at the capacity, I looked at the because there's going to be a main stand, and now there was an artist drawing today, and I counted the seats. Looks to be about 300 seats in the main stand, but it's being like a balcony, bit similar maybe to some a bit like Garford there, and opposite the main stand there's going to be the dugouts are going to be transferred to the Dunno Road side, where they're at the railway side at the moment, with two smaller standing areas, I understand, at either side of them. So that's what it looks like on the what it looks like on the drawing, you know. So we'll have to see on that one.
Going back to when you were a sort of like at the top, I mean, you were sort of well up, weren't you, non-league wise? What sort of attendances did you used to get in those days?
Well, when I was in the Northern Premier League back in the 70s, 80s, you'd get 700-800. But see, there wasn't Sky. It's effectively like all non-league clubs. There wasn't Sky then, social media, and I think that people probably could watch that nowadays. But yeah, I do think if we can get some guarantees on the incomes and maybe rosier times ahead. But as I say, at this moment in time, it's just need to know something concrete from the Goole Town Deal board or the consultants, you know, as the club going forward. So, but we'll see. I suppose it's early days. We're hoping to know something sooner than later, really. Because the supporters are going to be asking. But I say they're putting these temporary facilities in, but we have to see what that looks like when it happens. Because as you know, I go around doing sponsorship for the hospitality, and I've told sponsors that just after October there is going to be some facilities, but I don't know what they look like at the moment. So we have to wait and see on that. So I hope it's going to be okay, but we'll keep your fingers crossed on that, you know. So we'll see. We'll see. So that's where we are at the moment.
Potentially very exciting times in 12 to 18 months' time.
It's very exciting, but as I say, we just need some guarantees on the finance, you know, as going forward. Then yes, it could be exciting, yes. But as I say, other sporting events, I mean, the rugby league we're using it, and there's other like Goole Town Junior Tigers. They'll be able to, once the 4G pitch is down, they'll be able to hire it out all the time, really, from maybe 9 o'clock in the morning till 9 o'clock at night, you know. So that's where the revenue, I'd imagine, would come in if there's enough sporting groups around this area to hire the ground, you know, not just a football club.
Yeah.
So I think that's the idea, really.
Next up, NCEL Talk. I'll hand straight over to host Aaron Walton.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the NCEL Talk. I'm joined tonight by Si, Bob, and Adam. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Good evening.
So let's get started by having a look at last weekend's games. And if I may, I would like to start with the FA Cup first round qualifier, because there's some. I'll get on to the best stuff in a minute. So, alas, unfortunately, Barton Town didn't make history. They fell just short against Rugby Town, 1-0. There's a healthy crowd there, but it saw a really good goal by David Kolodinsky. It separated the two teams. It was a good cup tie. Rugby brought a good few fans, and it was all in, should we say, good humour. I thought it was a good game. Tadcaster, they succumbed to Macclesfield, didn't they? 3-0 at home, but another excellent crowd there, 490.
I've got to be honest, that I thought there would be more there for that match because
Yes.
Macclesfield had a good following, and I thought they'd get 700-800 easily. But it's still a good crowd, yes. But it's because Macclesfield's a very, very attractive tie, wasn't it, with Robbie Savage being the manager,
So I was saying with you, Bob. I thought they'd be probably double that. Thackley had a real long trip to Warrington Rylands. Saw them lose 4-0, didn't it? And Silsden came up short.
But they was doing well. It was 0-0 to about the 80th minute, wasn't it?
Well, I've seen, I saw 3 goals scored in 90 minutes. I'm sure it's a typo.
Yeah.
You can't score 3 that quick, surely.
No, exactly.
Yeah, and then Silsden came up short against West Didsbury in Chorlton 4-2, 958 there. So again, another good crowd. So what I want to do, gents, is they're all the came up short, those NCL teams. Let's have a look at the victors. I've got to give a real big pat on the back to Bottisford. So superb result for Mike Thompson's boys at Bottisford. 1-0 winners over Loughborough Students. And they've got a tough away trip to Bromsgrove Sporting, haven't they?
Yeah, it's not been very kind to them as their draw, has it?
Not really. So, but all the best to Bottisford in their journey. I wonder if they've made a bit of history. I wonder if that's the furthest they've been. I'm not sure myself.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, so well done to Bottisford. They're playing some good football. Hallam overcame a very good Newcastle Blue Star away, 3-2. And they were 2-0 down at half-time, but a quick-fire double from Danny South and a late winner from Callum Ward sees a countryman through to play Farsley Celtic away. Again, I don't think it's a romantic tie. However, I think it's a winnable tie.
Yeah. It's a tough tie.
It's a tough one, yeah. I'm sure Craig Denton and his boys will put a good performance up. And my last one, what a valiant attempt from Campion on Saturday. It was on the red button on BBC, wasn't it? And they drew 1-1, didn't they, at Campion? And they were very unlucky to lose to Blythe in extra time, 3-1. 729 at that tie at Blythe, so that was good. So hard luck to Campion.
Just going back to Bottisford, wouldn't it have been wonderful? Wouldn't it have been wonderful for them if they could have drawn Scunthorpe in second qualifying round?
Oh, yes. Yeah.
That would have been a dream tie for them, wouldn't it? I'd have been really pleased for them. That would have been.
Yeah, definitely. Well, that's just, as we say, that's the luck of the draw. So last Friday night, another Friday night under the light, Albion 3, Eccleshill 1. And Division 1, Si, come on in. Come on down, Si. The price is right. The match, what you were talking about last week, Horbury versus Wombwell.
I know, I was saying about what a great match it'd be and how it was, one of those sort of top-of-the-table clashes that someone's record's got to go. And it's a 0-0. And it's like, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe it was a really entertaining 0-0 because you can sometimes get them, can't you? But It's I thought there'd be goals in that game and there absolutely wasn't. Cancelled each other out, didn't they?
Cancelled each other out. So we'll keep with the Division 1 on Saturday. So we saw Armthorpe beat Drumfield 2-1. So Armthorpe keep that reasonably good form going. Athersley lost 1-0 at home to Durham District. 265 good souls at Shearing Park, so that's not bad for Athersley. They're getting a few there. Brigg Town 2, Clubthorne 0, so Brigg keep the good form up. Harrogate Railway Athletic 1, Wasborough 1. Ilkley 1, Wakefield 3. Di, back over to you. Did you go?
I did, and I tell you, it's a really nice setup there as well.
Yes, yeah.
It's obviously a new one to the league, isn't it? Because they come across from the northwest, and I don't know if you've been before, but obviously it's up on the moors and what have you, so you got great views. And the only downside, I think, not from us as fans, but certainly for the players, was it's a 3G pitch.
Yeah.
So a few of our lads were saying it was like doing their knees by the end of the game because it does take a bit of a toll, doesn't it? That sort of pitch. But the facilities were great there. It was a lovely sunny day, and it's always better to come away with a win, and we came away with a 3-1 win. So I was very happy with that.
Brilliant. Well, you're back onto winning ways now, so that's the Wakefield we know. And
Good
it's always
win,
good
that
to
as well,
see you with it.
because-
You sorry, Adam?
I was saying that's a good win as well, because they looked a
Mm.
very good team when I saw them a couple of weeks ago.
I could see why they were third before we played them. You can, when you're playing a side, even if you beat them, you can see that they're organised and where they're actually winning points. And they were a very good team, and it was a well fought battle to win the game. So yeah, they're still going to be up there come the end of the season.
So well done, Wakey. Louth 2, Swallownest 0. So Swallownest good form comes to a bit of a stop. Maltby 4, South Leeds 1. 255 at Muglet Lane. So they're getting a few fans back, aren't they? Down at Maltby. That's a good crowd for Maltby.
Very good.
Nostell 1, Shelley 1, and Selby 2, Yorkshire Amateurs 0. That rounds up Saturday's games for Division 1. So if we go into Premiership, Frickley lost 4-2 to Peddiston. Handsworth lost 1-0 to Parkgate. And Knaresborough beat Rossington 2-1. So Adam's team lost 2-1. Winterton Rangers picked up a good win against Pickering 2-1. So there's a lot of topsy-turvy teams out there, winning one week, losing the next, etc., etc. So it's certainly not cut and dried at the start of the campaign, is it? So let's have a look. Busy midweek. All starts on Monday night, didn't it? Albion 3, Golka 2. So good win for Albion. Tuesday, my Barton Town were at home to Frickley in a 1-1. A classic game of two halves. Barton were terrible first half. Frickley were brilliant, quicker to the ball, moved faster, good passes, scored early on. Comes in at half time. I'm sure the manager gave him a rollicking. Well, he did, because I heard him. And Barton come out second half, completely different team, played really well, scored. There was a big, I don't know if you've seen the highlights or it shows it. There was a shot that went, they say it went in, but the keeper flicked it out, and linesman said it didn't go in, but he wasn't quite positioned, so he should have really said, I can't give you a decision because I wasn't there. Referee couldn't see it. And then we've only ourselves to blame, because Tom Wardby cuts in on the wing, puts it on a plate to one of our lads. I won't say who it was to embarrass him. And instead of just plating it, and he blasted it, and it went over the bar, over the netting, and it's down in the Humber at the moment. So it was that wide. So, but it was 1-1. So it set up nicely for Goole on Friday night. Bottisford 2, Silsden 3. So Bottisford just lost out there to Silsden. Do we have to go on to this one, Bob? Goole 0.
Yes.
Goole 0, Brackley 3. Did you go, Bob?
I went, but I missed the first half because I was doing volunteering duties, so I can get money out, lottery, etc.
Oh,
so
yeah,
I saw the second half, which I think was better than the first half, because we were losing 2-0 at half time.
Yeah.
But the best team won. I mean, Goole's, I think the confidence is low at the moment, really, especially after Tadcaster result last week.
Yeah.
So all I can say is I just hope we can play better tomorrow night at Barton and just play better and score a goal away. So far, we've played 4 games away, scored 0 and conceded 15.
Oh, dear.
That is not good.
No, but I'm not saying anything, Bob, because it'll be the kiss of death. But you've still got a lot of the players you had last season, when you played us last season.
We have, but we have signed some new players, you know. So we had Harry Spooner made his debut for us on Tuesday night, and I think he played all right. But when you lose 3-0, there's nobody going to shine at that, really. So just let's hope we can get result tomorrow night.
Well, I hope you don't, but you know what? So right, we'll go on to Knaresborough 4, Tadcaster 0. 323 there, so that was a good crowd at Knaresborough. Very difficult place to go, Knaresborough. As somebody once said to me at Barton, you're getting out there, and you certainly don't get out there at Knaresborough. So good win for Knaresborough.
As well. because, like I say, we were kind of around bottom 2-3 a few weeks ago, and they seem to have got a few decent results and have climbed themselves up into mid-table at the minute.
Yes, I've noticed that, Adam. They've had 2 or 3 good results, haven't they? So they had a real good start last season. I think somebody was intimating. They had a real good start last season, and they've had a real poor start this season. But it's still early enough, like you say, to get it right. They are a good team, Nash, but they've got some good players, a good manager. So I think they'll be there or thereabouts. So it was a good win against Tadcaster, who were a little bit. You never know what you get with Tadcaster. It's a bit Jekyll and Hyde. They're probably still licking the wounds from Saturday. Parkgate 1, Pickering 3. Well, Pickering, aren't they up and down? Eh? I can't believe it. They'll lose 1 week. Then what a good win away at Parkgate. So well done, Pickering Town. Really good win. Division 1, Appleby Frodingham, or as we call it round here, Apfrod. 0, Glasshoughton 3. Good win for Glasshoughton. And then in the Premier, what a game. Eccles Hill 6, Beverley Town 5. How many teams go away, score 5 goals and still lose? That is amazing, isn't it?
It certainly is.
I don't think Dave Ricardo will be very happy, but to score 5 goals, that's good. I see they've got Eddie Birch playing for them now. I think he's dual signed with Bridlington, so he'll add a bit of stability and experience to Beverley's young team. So I think Beverley hopefully are going the right way. Put a good performance in there. Penistone 2, Handsworth 2. Good result there. And Division 1, Maltby 3, Yorkshire Amateurs 1, and Wasborough 0, Horbury 4. So that's a good win for Horbury away at Wasborough. I'm going to go on to the NCEL Cup second round. Brigtown 2, Rossington 2. Now, I know somebody not far away was at the match, Adam Gittings.
I was.
Stood next
I
to
also
me.
know someone who was at the match.
There's a few of us there, wasn't there? What did you think, Adam?
I know we're a cup game, but I'd kind of say a draw were a fair result. I thought both teams had plenty of chances, and both teams played some good football as well, and quite a few chances as well both ways. Like quite an open game.
It was, wasn't it?
Yeah, like I say, Brig nicked an equaliser, literally one at last touches at game to take it to penalties. A good game all in all, I thought. Tricky conditions in the first half as well.
It was, wasn't it?
Yeah, kind of. Sorry, go on.
What did you think to the disallowed goal? I know you've got it on your video. Was it a foul on the keeper?
It's hard to say. I can see it from both sides. Nowadays, like you say, it's probably a few years ago. It'd have been given, but like I say, it's very hard to say. I mean, I've seen Briggs' video as well, which is a better angle of it, and I think it's just one of the things. A few players go jumping in the air. There's going to be some contact somewhere. So I'm sitting on the fence a bit here, but I'm not sure. It's one of them. It probably could have gone either way, and
it could have done
too much.
But then Josh Batty, he took it around the keeper, and he didn't give it enough, did he? And it just hit the post, didn't it, and come back out. So it could have been 2-2 all earlier on, and then. But what about the penalties? Weren't there some good penalties taken?
Oh, superb! That's how you take a penalty. Absolutely, blasted. Pretty much all of them got blasted. So
they didn't. Well, I know. Is it Lewis Hill, the keeper for Brig? I know he used to be at Rossington. That first one, I mean, he got across to it, got 2 hands to it, but it just went straight in, didn't it? I mean, it took a lot of thing off it. Yeah, it was good, but I think Rossington maybe just obviously shaded it with the penalties, but they've got some really good players at Rossington, haven't they?
Yeah, you know? I think, like I say, I think going forwards, we're really good. It's just like I say, just a bit of experience at the back, because it's a very talented back line, but it's a very young and inexperienced back line. So I feel like Greg Young's not started a game this season. He's been injured, who usually commands the back line. So I feel like I can get someone with a bit of experience just to help the young ones out a bit. I think we'll be definitely. I think we'll do well.
I think going forward, I like Basil Zatos. He looks good. He looks pretty quick. Just
first time I've seen him playing.
Yeah, it's just that final shot. He slightly makes the wrong decision, but definitely look good. Who's the young number 9? Looks like Billy Casper out of Kes.
Lewis Graham.
I was impressed with him. He looks a very young lad, but he looked very confident and he looked good. So I think that's a prospect for the future. He's probably about 32, knowing me, but he looked about 16. But
he's only. I think he's about 16, 17, something like that. But he's going to be a cracking player.
Yeah, I think he played for our Goole under 18 last year.
Did he?
We did.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. Well, he's a good player. He's a good player, Bob. He's a good prospect there. So let's have a look at Saturday's games then. Oh, Friday night. We've got to talk about Friday night. Sorry, Bob. Friday night.
Do we have to?
Friday night football under the lights. It's Barton Town turn to entertain Goole AFC. So I shall be seeing you tomorrow night, Bob. All being well for a good clash. Hopefully it doesn't end up like it did last time with Barton and Goole.
Oh, I don't mind that.
I didn't think you would. What was it, 3 or 4-0 to you guys?
Something like that. But we had Bryce playing for us then. We've no longer got Bryce.
Yeah,
he was a good player.
But you had the big lad, Bolton McQuedza, is it?
Yeah, but he's away at the moment, I think. So we don't think he might be back. I don't know.
Oh, I hope he is because he's still good.
I can't give any details away. I'll have Rian on me back.
Oh, so, don't worry. Oh, you sound like the officials at Stockport Town. You can't look at the team sheet until the referee's seen it and think all I want to do is just make sure you can write it down, do you? Mate, like the Premier League. Yeah. That's Friday. Saturday, we've got some good times. We've got Albion against Knaresborough. That'll be a good game. Bostisford entertain Frickley. Handsworth and Pickering. And I've just marked this. This is my tie of the round, this one. Penistone versus Rossington. That'll be a good one, won't it, boys?
Well,
really good.
Yeah, I think that's a
good
good
league. I mean, they were looking pretty good, Penistone. And like I say, hopefully Rosso, that winning cup could pick up a bit of form and should be a good game.
I think it'll be a good game, yeah. Silsden play Eccleshill, so that's like a Bradford derby. And Winton entertain Thackley. So Winton have just started to pick up a bit. So I think they'll do all right. So we're going to Division 1. Looks like there's a full fixture list. Durham District and Brig. That'll be a good game. Dronfield and Athersley. Glasshoughton and Armthorpe. That should be a good tie. Harrogate Railway Athletic versus Appleby Frodingham. Shelley versus Selby. South Leeds and Nostell. Swallownest and Maltby. And Wakefield versus Louth. You must fancy your chances there because Louth have stuttered a little bit, haven't they?
They're a bit hit and miss, but if we catch them on a hit day, then as we saw last season, and sometimes any team can beat anyone else on their day if it's their day.
If it's their day,
you don't take anyone lightly. So
yeah,
I saw our manager's comments this week, and we're not taking them lightly. We're not thinking it's a pushover. We know they're a hard team to beat. They've had a couple of good wins lately. They might have been sort of like in mid-table, but they've done well in games. So yeah, although. If you're going to finish in the top half of the table and looking for playoffs and promotion, these are the games you have to be winning.
Yeah, definitely.
So we should be looking to win it, but we have to take it seriously and just give 100% on the day, and I'm sure we will do.
And don't you think at step 5 and step 6, a lot of teams can go into a game playing with one hand tied behind the back due to availability of players?
That can be an issue as well, and with anything like that, with injuries as well, and it's always got to be and it's difficult to try and keep a team as a whole unit happy because if players aren't playing, they're going to want to go elsewhere. You've got to rotate as well and keep everyone happy, and getting that dressing room atmosphere is probably key to it, isn't it?
It is. It's a difficult balancing act. I think you've got to be a good plate spinner as a manager at this level. I think. And the last tie in Div 1 is Yorkshire Amateurs versus who did they play?
Clubthorne.
Clubthorne. Yeah, I put CTC down and I've forgotten who it was. Clubthorne. So again, Clubthorne Yorkshire Amateurs, it's a difficult place to go up at Brackenedge. Not one of the best pitches, so it could be a bit of a game for them there. And then next week we've got again midweek games. We've got the League Cup second round, haven't we? Some more ties. Armthorpe and Handsworth. Now that'll be a good test for Handsworth at Armthorpe. I don't know which way it's going to go. I possibly think maybe Handsworth have got a little bit too much for Armthorpe, but again, depends what team you put out. Durham District, they play Barton Town. I've never been, so that'll be a new ground for me. Has anybody been to Durham?
No.
I bet Adam has.
Yeah, I've been to Durham. Yeah.
What's it like, Adam? Is it a good ground?
It's not bad. It's one of them that kind of developing all the time. It's kind of one of them every time you look on, they've got a new stand or something like that. So it's one of them that I think it's only like they used to play somewhere else, I think. So I think it's one of the first years there, so they're kind of developing it as they go. But it's got potential. There's a lot of space to build on that.
Oh, that's good. Well, I'll have a look. I like to go to my new grounds and see what it's like. So that's Durham District and Barton. That'd be a tough tie for Barton. Pickering play Harrogate Railway, so that'll be a good game. And Frickley play Ilkley, so that's sort of a localish derby, isn't it? That one. Yeah. And then in the Prem, in midweek, Beverley. Let's see if they can get onto winning ways. They've got Golker, another tough game for Beverley. At Golker at home at I can't remember where they play now. Beverley. Norwood. I completely forgot. I was going to say the Westwood, and that's going out of Beverley. Dear me. You know when I won't say my brain freezes because they haven't got one, but dear me. Hallam played Tadcaster. That'll be a good game. Can Tadcaster work the slope at Hallam at Sandygate? And Ty again, Wakefield very busy. They've got Glassoutton at home, so another potentially difficult tie.
Yeah, another little derby type, style as well. I mean, it's not quite Wakefield and Glassoutton, but it's got a Wakefield postcode, so it's a localish game. Is that one?
I hope there's no handbags again like there was last time when you were playing. Who was you playing? And there was a few handbags on the pitch.
Oh, when Horbury and Wakefield were having the players having a bit of a scuffle, weren't they? But it was just it was a bit of punchy shovey. It was
It's a bit like ice hockey without the punches. And then Wednesday we've got another couple of League Cup games, second round. Campion and Penistone. Whoa, what a good tie that is. And South Leeds play Bottisford. That'll be a nice test for South Leeds to see how they do against Bottisford. Now Bottisford, obviously they've got the 4G pitch, so they're not used to playing on grass as much, are they? So we'll just see how they play at that. Because it's a big old ground, isn't it, at South Leeds?
That's all that with others.
Yeah, with a running track round it, and have they still just got the one massive stand?
Yeah, just that one more. It is a massive stand.
It is, isn't it? Yeah. So basically, that's covered everything. Now, last week I was chatting about gate prices, admission fees, and was looking at what clubs are doing what, and I was going to open it up to you guys. Do you think our leagues are value for money?
Definitely.
You think they are, Bob? You would say that because you're charging £7.
Yeah, but also if you got a season ticket like a concession beforehand, it was £60. £60. I mean, that's for 19 games. Yeah. If you came every game, that's £95. So you're saving £35. Yeah. That was the early bird price for a concession.
And that's 19. Well, not 19 Saturdays, but your 19 games, you're going to be entertained, hopefully. So if you put it like that, it is value for money, isn't it?
And we have not had a price increase at Goole for about 4 or 5 years,
Well, that's brilliant, that, because a lot of clubs tend to put £1 on every year, don't they, if they're not careful. I think you've got to be very careful, aren't you guys, not to pitch it slightly high. I mean, some people grumble. I mean, it always used to be a £5. and a lot of people are grumbling that it's £6. You know, it was easier at a fiver, that type of thing. But because I didn't sort of factor this in, referees and officials, they need paying, and their prices are going up every year, aren't they?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
so
even little things like your cost of electric for your floodlights and stuff. You know, there's all that sort of stuff to factor in.
Well,
There's running costs for every club, isn't there?
And obviously
the one thing on this I want to sort of cover that I find quite inconsistent. It's quite consistent with the adult prices, £5, £6, £7 across all of them.
Yeah.
It's your under 16s or children where it varies. Where some people it's half price, some people it's free for under 16s.
Yeah.
Some it's under 12. If there's no consistency in the age levels.
Yeah.
And that's the part that I find, because sometimes you think, oh, we're going, we've got a game to go to away, and there's obviously me and the two boys might be, and then you think it's just one pricing, but then there's actually got to pay for both the kids as well, which is quite surprising because generally a lot of clubs you don't have to pay for them.
Well,
not that I object to paying for them, but it's just that inconsistency with clubs on some do and some don't.
Yeah, it's very hit and miss, isn't it? And I mean, what we want to be doing is we want to be getting kids in and getting them hooked and enjoying it, you know. And if it's going to put, especially families, if they've got 2 or 3 kids with them, it can work out quite expensive because they'll want food, even if you say you can't have any, they'll still want food, or they'll want a drink.
And if you let them in for free, if you have them free entry, then they're going to pay something at your concession stand and what have you, and get some food and drink. Whereas if they got to pay to go in, they might sort of not want to do that anyway, because it's not like it takes away that family sort of.
It doesn't
bargain day out.
Yeah, it does. And I mean, you know, if you think, oh, great, kids go free, that's brilliant. Yeah, you feel sort of that you want to spend a bit, don't you, just to put a bit back into the club. So it's a difficult tightrope. I know clubs struggle. I know players need paying, like you say. I always thought the floodlights run on tractor diesel, but that's against the law. But
it's still vastly cheaper than any league football, though. My best mate last week, him and his lad went down to a Chelsea game to watch them down there.
Yeah.
For what it would have cost for them to do that, we could go watch our team for a full season. Easily.
Yeah.
For me personally, it's like I go and watch my team, Doncaster Rovers, and the thing I love the most about non-league is it's that community thing. It's a kind of thing where you go to, like, any EFL club or something like that, you're just another number. Whereas you come here, everyone knows everyone. It's a community, like a lot of volunteers, stuff like that. Same person, like selling programs all the time, doing the raffle at half time, and it's like, you see them week in, week out, and you're thinking you're paying £5-6 quid to come in. You know everyone, and it's just that's what it's about.
Yeah, spot on.
When you're watching the EFL club, to be able to do that.
Yeah, it is. And I mean, like last night, I mean, you knew plenty of people there, didn't you, at Brig and Rossington? I mean, you must have spoke to everybody, I think.
That's the thing as well. I didn't. I know over Rosso a lot, but over Brig lot, we're just coming up and we're just having a chat and stuff like that.
It was, yeah.
You can do that. It's
That's because you were stood next to me, mate. I'm only joking. We were still enthralled in the game, weren't we? Because it was a really good game.
Are you getting spotted for selfies and that yet, Adam?
Sorry?
Are you getting spotted for getting people to do selfies? Are you like one of the spotted YouTubers now? When you go to people's grounds, like to look out for you now.
I've had a few recognise me. I got asked for a photo once at the Rovers, which felt quite strange. But
wow, that's good. That's good though. You've got plenty of followers, so that's really good. And I don't want to be blowing smoke up your bum, but you do a really, really good job with these blogs you do and videos. They're really good. So that's all right. Yeah, I enjoy watching them. They're good. There was a little bit of an unsavoury incident, wasn't there? Wasborough versus Horbury.
There was.
Did you hear about it, Bob?
I did, because we as you know, at Goole, we sort of keep an eye on things like this due to our behind closed door game the other week,
Yeah.
And, but it's really sad that somebody's got to go to hospital due to this, you know.
Yeah.
And
It was only last week when we were wrapping up this podcast that
Yeah.
I said that this is because we had another incident, didn't we, where it was
Yes,
someone was threatening a player, and I
Yeah.
said this is something that's happening more and more at non-league, and here we are a week later, and we've got another issue
Another one. Yeah.
where there's actually been violence, and credit to both clubs, they've come out basically and condemned it and said they're going to find this person and ban them and what have you, which is absolutely the right thing to do, but it shouldn't be happening. I don't know. It doesn't seem to be going away at the moment, doesn't it?
No, I'd like to say it's definitely out of character because it doesn't happen much. But like you say, it's happening more, isn't it? That's the thing.
Is this because we're seeing more people come from like a league football? And I'm not sort of tarring any brushes, but fans that come from league football that maybe we keep saying about the prices, maybe they're priced out of going to see the clubs, so they come to watch the non-league, but they've still got that league mentality. And I'm not saying that all people, because I'm sure Adam's not like that when he goes to watch Doncaster, for example. But you know what I mean? All clubs have got little pockets of those sort of fans, and if they can't get to those games, is it filtering into non-league maybe?
Possibly. Yeah. I mean, I know
it is. It happens at Goole, you know.
And I think
do you see anything at Adam at Doncaster games of that sort, or is it because it's a bigger club? Is it kind of eliminated easier?
You get the odd thing. It's kind of nothing really escalates. You get the odd chance here and there, but you very rarely see anything happen. I'm sure it does sometimes, but like I say, it's out of the eye, if that makes sense. But I think unfortunately it's one of the things. It's one of the things I think, like I say, it's in my opinion, non-league's never been as popular as it is now, and with that, you're going to get a few idiots who wouldn't have usually gone before who are coming now. So it's
I think there's a lot of things. There's a lot of things too that come together. I mean, there's like you say, there's the odd idiots that come, but you've got to factor in alcohol as well, because we can have a drink, can't we, there, and you can take a drink as long as it's in a plastic cup. You can take a drink out and stand around, can't you, and watch, especially at our levels, which is nice. Not so much in the winter because you keep going to the toilet, but you can do them sort of things. And I think sometimes society as well, we seem to be a bit of a nation with a short fuse at the moment, don't we? So there's that as well. So there's a lot of things to factor in, and all the clubs are run by volunteers. We're not professionals. We're not like stewards, are we? We're not trained like stewards. We haven't got the facility for lots of stewards. So it's very difficult.
I think the finances for it. That's
Exactly.
the issue, isn't it? Is the fact that when we're talking about league clubs, because they have the income, so they can pay for stewarding. Whereas at this level, the last thing clubs need is an extra expense.
We paid a lot in fines last season, last 2 or 3 seasons, really. And it's a club financially, and this is what that's people. The younger elements, I would say, have got to understand.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of as I say, it's isolated incidents, but it's becoming sort of every week we're talking about it now, aren't we? So as I say, there's a lot of things involved, but I think Worsborough and Horbury have, like you say, Si, have come out and said, there's no place for it. There is no place for all clubs.
No, I agree.
And I'm going to speak for all clubs in the NCEL. I don't care I get into trouble or not. We don't want that type of people coming to our game. It's as simple. If you want to cause trouble, please don't come. We're trying to get family orientated football. People come down and meet people and be friendly. Yes, you have a little bit of banter, but that's about as far as it goes. A little bit of name calling, that's about as far as it goes.
It's knowing where the line is, isn't it?
Yeah, and sometimes that's blurred, isn't it? I know we sometimes see the red mist, and if your team's not doing very well, and we're passionate about it, but it's a game at the end of the day. There's always next week, so it's a difficult one. But I think we have to talk about it, don't we? Because you can't sweep it under the carpet. It's got to be spoken about. So
I hope that fan was okay as well.
yeah.
Talk to him obviously, because that can put people off going. So as much as anything else, but hopefully he's all right. He's made a good recovery, and hopefully don't put him off going to support him.
Yeah, we'll send our best wishes to whoever it is, and if you want to come down to Barton Town or Goole or Wakefield or Rossington, I'm sure we'll look after you.
Yeah.
So with that, gentlemen, I think it's looking like we've covered everything. So Bob, me and you will see each other tomorrow at the well, they don't like Humberside anymore. There's no such county, but
you're Lincolnshire, aren't you? You're in.
It's a Lincolnshire. It's the Humber Derby.
The Humber Derby, yeah. Humber Derby.
Yeah, and what game are you going to, Adam? Are you going to Doncaster?
Doncaster at the weekend, and then depends if I've got a car for next week for where I go. To be honest with you,
there's a few games. Well, there's Armthorpe you could go to.
To be fair, we're thinking about Wakefield because I can get there on the train. So,
all right,
maybe see you on Tuesday. We'll see.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be a good one.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah. You might see Adam's side. So all it leaves us to do is to say to everybody at the NCEL who goes to watch him, enjoy your football, and we'll see you all next week.
That's it for this edition. If you've got any news for the podcast or you'd like to appear on the podcast, please email ncelpodcast@gmail.com. Thanks for listening.